Please hear this. Obedience carries atmosphere. Disobedience carries an atmosphere. And it's very loud. It's very loud. There are some struggles in people's life that is not a curse. It's not a function of generational curse. It's not Satan. It's not Satan. It's not witches and wizards fighting. It is a clear demonstration. Your atmosphere is a typical example of a man walking in disobedience. Your problem is not demon anywhere. Your problem is not generational curses. Your problem is not witches and wizards anywhere. Your problem is that you have powered your atmosphere with gross disobedience. Nothing in the scripture that is an instruction that moves you. Nothing. You know, there are people who God can talk to them and in the smartness of their mind ignore it. God said this, God said that. No wonder your life is an example of wilderness. Hello, somebody. Are we together? The first man, God told him, he said, this garden I gave, this garden I created is for your good. But you can stay in this garden if you maintain an atmosphere of obedience. He said, but the day you disobey, he said, this garden that provides roof will become roofless. So the thing that protects you will no longer protect you. In other words, please look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Majority of the hardship in the life of the believer is sponsored by disobedience. Majority of frustration, hardship in the life of a child of God is sponsored by disobedience. Full of prayer, but violating scriptures. Speaking in tongue, but have no regard to God's injunction. Two spirit. Look at me. It's not your prayer and fasting that makes you spiritual. It's your scriptural compliance. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's not your prayers. It's not your That's not what makes you spiritual. What makes you spiritual is your discipline in scriptural compliance. Your ability to comply with scriptures. Anything that manipulates you into disobedience has rule over your life. Anything that manipulates your life into disobeying any scriptural instruction has gone. And look at me. And Satan does not have a right to manipulate and destroy a life until that life opened the door of disobedience. So God said to obey is better than sacrifice. Don't be living in rebellion and trying to be nice. Speaking in tongue but living in obedience. Coming to church but living in obedience. He said to obey is better than sacrifice. So there are certain sacrifices that are not regarded. You see, if it's powered by an atmosphere of disobedience. Are we together? So when it comes to scripture, remove your smartness, remove your intelligence. Remove your intelligence. God can, look at me, God can give you a throne now, and in less than 1 hour, God take back the throne he gives you because of disobedience. Saul, I am the one who appointed you king. I look upon you with favor. You didn't qualify. You are not considered at all. He said, we look and mercy found you, and we anointed you. But yet, you didn't respect the atmosphere that brought you this far. And because you didn't respect it, today, we have the contract we have, we've cancelled it. The contract we have that gives you divine backing and produce this honor in your life, that contract has been cancelled. You're no longer a king. We have rejected you. And from that moment, you know what the scripture said? He said, and an evil spirit came from the Lord to torment him. Now let me correct that. It's not as if God has an evil spirit. It's just that the hand that protects him has been withdrawn. The hand that shield him has been taken away. So when you see all manner of ugliness affecting believers, know that the shield has been taken away. When you see a believer in crisis, tears, problem after problem, know that the hand that shield has been taken away. Look at me. When it comes to God, partial obedience is absolute disobedience. If it's not complete obedience, it's not obedience. If God gives you instruction, don't do half and leave half. Saul, you brought the sacrifice. You were there in the right place. Thank God. But that obedience was not completed because you were meant to wait for the prophet. You brought the sacrifice. You are in the right place. Look at me. The hours you spend in warfare, if you can reduce it and monitor your obedient life, you'll go far.